Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तस्यारविन्दनयनस्य पदारविन्दाकिञ्जल्कमिश्रतुलसीमकरन्दवायुः अन्तर्गतस्वविवरेण चकार तेषां संक्षोभमक्षरजुषामपि चित्ततन्वो। Satyarva Mataji, can you please recite the verses today?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevaye जीवन अपि मृतो हि सः प्रसंगमार्तजरं पाशम् आत्मना कवयो विदुः स एव साधु शुक्रतो मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम् तितिक्षवः कारुणिकाः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणाः सतां प्रसंगान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायना कथा तज्जोषणादाशपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति हासं हरेरवनताखिललोकतीव्र शोकाश्रुसागरविशोषणमात् अत्युदारं सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमाययास्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य मद्गुणश्रुतिमात्रेण मयि सर्वगुहाशये मनोगतिरविच्छिन्ना यथा गङ्गाम्बसोऽम्बुदौ लक्षणं भक्तियोगस्य निर्गुणस्य ह्युदाहृतम् अहैतुकी अव्यवहिता या भक्तिपुरुषोत्तमे सालोक्यसार्ष्टिसामीप्य सारूप्यैकत्वमप्युत दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति विना मत्सेवनं जनाः यन्नामधेयश्रवणानुकीर्तनाद् यत्प्रह्वणात् यत्स्मरणादपि क्वचित् श्वादोऽपि सद्य सवनाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नु दर्शनात् अहो बतश्व पचतो गरीयान् यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यं ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुः सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्माणुचुर्नाम गृह्णन्ति एते।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you very much, Mataji. It was very nice. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, we are continuing our study of Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 29, text 26. Correct? Okay, text 26. So, Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.26. Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev is speaking to his beloved mother, Shri Devavati Devi, about explanation of devotional service. That is the name of this chapter. आत्मनश्च परस्यापि यः करोत् अन्तरोदरं तस्य भिन्न दृशो मृत्युर्विदधे भयम् उल्बणम्. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhagwan Kapil Dev is telling his mother, Shri Devadu Devi, and through her to all of us. As the blazing fire of death, I cause fear, great fear, to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of a differential outlook. भिन्न दृशो मृत्योर विदधे भयम उल्बणम. Bhayam ulbanam, great fear. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, there are bodily differentiations among all varieties of living entities. But a devotee should not distinguish between one living entity and another on such a basis. A devotee's outlook should be that both the soul and the super soul are equally present in all varieties of living entities. Srila Prabhupada did not make a distinction between who is Bharatiya and who is Videshi. Even for the Vidharmis, even for those who did not even know or care about him, Srila Prabhupada was willing to sacrifice his very life. He came, got on the Jaladuta, and came to America for people who did not even know him or care about him. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada did not distinguish. He tried to save everybody. Srila Prabhupada went to Iran. Srila Prabhupada went to Australia, New Zealand. He went to Africa. He went to North America, South America. He went to Europe. He went to Japan, Malaysia. So many countries. He did not differentiate. Because Srila Prabhupada, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Kavi Hastini, Shunichaiva, Shopakacha, Pandita, Samadarshana. Text 27. Athamam sarvabhuteshu bhutatmanam kritalayam arhaye dana manabhyam maitrya bhinnena chakshusha. Therefore, through charitable gifts and attention, as well as through friendly behavior, and by viewing all to be alike, one should propitiate me, who abide in all creatures as their very self. Propitiate means one should please me, worship me, serve me. Through what? Through charitable gifts, dan, and through man. Man means respect. By giving respect and by giving gifts. And through friendship, maitriya, we should reciprocate and deal with others, knowing that Bhagwan is in their hearts. Now, Srila Prabhupada very clearly mentions in the purport, it should not be misunderstood that because a super soul is dwelling within the heart of living entity, the individual soul has become equal to Paramatma. Both are living in the same house, in the region of the heart, or two birds sitting on the same branch of a tree, as Mundaka Upanishad and Shvetashvatara Upanishad say, or Srimad Bhagavatam also says. That doesn't mean that the soul and the super soul have become one or that they are equal. No, Krishna is asamordhva. No one is equal to Krishna and no one is greater than Krishna. And we are eternally parts and parcels of Krishna. Mamai amsha jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatana. We can never become Krishna. Krishna is anshi. We are ansha. The impersonalists misunderstand this. They think that the soul and the super soul is one. Here it is distinctly mentioned that the individual soul should be recognized in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very important. Srila Prabhupada says in the next paragraph, the two Sanskrit words here are man and dan. Man indicates superior, to give respect, and dan indicates one should give charitable gifts or as compassion to the inferior. We cannot treat the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan, as an inferior who is dependent on our charitable gifts. We should not think that just because we gave a donation, now we have purchased Krishna. I have given this, now Krishna, you must do this. I did so much, Krishna, I gave so much, but you didn't fulfill my prayer. That type of mentality is not anukul towards Krishna. And therefore, it is opposed to the principle of Sharanagati. Because Amrit Gaurangi Mataji, Sharanagati means anukulasya sankalpa. What is anukul towards Krishna, that we accept. But if we have this mentality that if I do this, then Krishna must do this. If you put that condition, then it becomes conditional devotional service. But pure devotional service is unconditional. Ahetuki. What is parodharmo? Ahetuki apratihata ye atma suprasiddhi. Savai pumsam parodharmo yato bhakti radhoksharya. So like that. So we should not think that by giving charitable gifts to Krishna, we have purchased him. Similarly, it is explicitly stated here that man, respect is offered to a superior. Charity is offered to someone who is below, inferior. We give dan, that is to inferior, and man to a superior. Srila Prabhupada says. Like that. Compassion and friendliness do not necessitate falsely elevating someone to the exalted position of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should not at the same time misunderstand that the super soul situated in the heart of an animal, like a hog, and the super soul situated in the heart of a learned Brahman are different. This is Vidya Vinaya Sampanna verse. Pandita Samadarshana. Super soul is same. Even super soul in the heart of a rat or cockroach is same as the super soul sitting in Lord Brahma's heart. Hare Krishna. The super soul in all living entities is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. Isn't this so beautiful, this philosophy? That the super soul in my heart is the same super soul in all of yours heart, and in the heart of all the living entities, and within the trees. And how Krishna does that? This is Krishna's inconceivable potency, Achintya Shakti. By his omnipotency, he can live anywhere, and he can create Vaikuntha situation everywhere. So now Krishna is living in my heart, and I may have so many material desires in my heart. So does that mean that Krishna is living in a material place? No. Prabhupada says, wherever Krishna is, there is Vaikuntha. So Krishna can create Vaikuntha atmosphere wherever he is. In other words, Krishna never has any material contact or any material contamination. Krishna doesn't get materially contaminated, even though Krishna may be in the body of a worm in the stool. That is Krishna's Achintya Shakti. That is his inconceivable potency. Therefore, when Narayan is living in the heart of a hog means pig, he does not become a hog Narayan. Or he lives in the heart of a poor person, doesn't become Daridra Narayan. He is always Narayan and is unaffected by the body of the hog. This is the transcendental position of Krishna. Krishna can be everywhere, but Krishna is always Mukta. Krishna is always completely free from material contamination. Text 28. Jiva Shreshta Ajivanam Tata Prana Bhrita Shubhe Tatah Sachitta Pravaras Tataschendriya Vrittayah. Living entities are superior to inanimate objects. Inanimate object means stone, mud, water. These are all inanimate. But Krishna is, the living entities, Atma, spiritual entity, is superior. And he is addressing her as Shubhe, O blessed mother. Beautiful address to one's mother, O Shubhe. O blessed mother, living entities are superior to inanimate objects. And among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. For example, someone may be in the form of a grass or a small weed growing somewhere. That is not talking, that is not moving. So many symptoms of life are not there, but some symptoms are there of life. Or, for example, a virus that you look at under electron microscope. That virus, you cannot even perceive the virus as growing. A tree, at least you can see, create some fruits, vegetables, some seeds which grow, which germinate and grow into another seed. There are some, but a virus, you can hardly notice any sign of life or symptom of life. But there is life, even in the viruses, even in the bacteria. So, living entities who manifest symptoms of life, like a human being, like a cow, is superior to a virus or a weed or a small little plant. Living entities who display life symptoms are better than living entities who don't display life symptoms. Animals with developed consciousness are better than those who don't have developed consciousness. And better still are those who have developed sense perception. Consciousness means, for example, uh, a snake has consciousness. It can look at, it can perceive food and then with the tongue can sense where the prey is and go and grab. So there is consciousness. But better than them is those who have developed sense perception. Those who have, with our eyes, we can see, with our nose, we can smell. A snake cannot see. Eyes are not developed so much. Hmm? So those who have developed sense perception, they are superior. So what Bhagwan Kapil Dev is saying is he is giving different gradations of bodies based on different levels of developed consciousness. So which is the best, most evolved, most developed species? Human beings. So we are very fortunate. We are very fortunate. Purport. In the previous verse, it was explained that living entities should be honored by charitable gifts and friendly behavior. And in this verse and the following verses, description of different grades of living entities is given so that one can know when to behave friendly and when to give charity. For example, a tiger is a living entity. Tiger is also Mamayamsha Jiva Loka Jiva Sanatana, part and parcel of Bhagwan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Lord is living in the heart of a tiger also as Super Soul. But that does not mean that we have to treat the tiger in a friendly way. Otherwise, the tiger will eat us. We gave the example of that grizzly man who had affection for grizzly bears and he decided to live in Alaska in a national park with the grizzly bears. And all day he used to be with grizzly bears. And then one day the grizzly bears ate him up. Only his camera was found. So we have to distinguish between different levels of living entities. That discrimination must be there. We have to treat the tiger differently. The many saintly persons in the jungles do not treat the tiger in a friendly way, but they supply prasad foodstuffs to them. So prasad can be given. For example, a saint may take bath in the river. The river water becomes Charanamrit. The tiger will come and drink that water and get benefited. Bhakta Padadhuli Bhakta Padajal Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh Teen Mahabal. The tigers come, take food, and go away, just as a dog does. According to the Vedic system, a dog is not allowed to enter the house. So, this is an important point for us, Grahasthas. I remember there was one devotee and was aspiring for initiation from Param Pujya Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And Maharaj very kindly said that if you want to make progress, you want to have deities in the house, you want to have cleanliness in the house, you want to get initiated, then you should understand that dog is an animal that should be kept outside the house. Because dogs like to play, they like to run, they need open space. Keeping them in a small 3000 square feet house is not natural for them. And when they're in the house, they will shed hair, they will lick here and there. Dogs don't take bath after pooping. After answering nature's call, you don't take a bath. Whereas we take a bath. If we go for number two, we have to take a bath. We don't. We are not like some other cultures where they just wipe with a tissue and walk out, put on clothes and walk out. It's so dirty. Mm. So we believe in ablution. Ablution means you wash with water and you take a bath. So dogs don't do that, which means the dog will come everywhere in the house and contaminate every single place where they go. So how can a Brahman live in a house? How can Shri Vigraha Seva happen properly in a house like that? So those devotees understood. And then they did the needful, found another dog owner, another caregiver for the dog, and then they got duly initiated. So this is very good. Certain things should not be compromised upon. Hare Krishna. We have nothing against dogs, but in a small house that we live in, it is not natural for dogs to be there, and it is not natural for a devotee to live with a dog. Dogs should be in the field, in the farmhouse, like that. So Prabhupada clearly says here, this is not something that we are making up. Srila Prabhupada is saying, and Srila Prabhupada is saying it on the basis of Vedic culture. According to the Vedic system, a dog is not allowed to enter the house. Hare Krishna. The compassionate householder, beg your pardon, because of their uncleanliness, cats and dogs are not allowed within the apartment of a gentleman, but are so trained that they stand outside. They can be outside, they can guard the house from outside. Now, in India, this is possible. In America, not possible because it gets very cold in the winter. So, therefore, it is best to keep the dogs in the farmhouse when there is farm, like that. And cats also, because I was talking to one devotee and they have cats in their house. Now, cats are obligate carnivores. Cats don't eat vegetarian food. They're obligate carnivores. So, what to do? Then this devotee was saying that we have to buy cat food, which is all meat. It is coming from slaughterhouse, where there is so much sin involved. So he's purchasing cat food, which is meat from a slaughterhouse, and feeding the cats. Because I said, why you want to have cats in the house? They're so dirty. To keep in the house, nothing against cats, but cats are not meant to be inside the house. We don't hear in Shiv Valmiki Ramayana that Lord Ramachandra had cats and dogs in the house. We don't read like that. Even when Shri Sita Devi said that let's catch this deer, golden deer, our Vanvas is coming to an end in 1 year, we will take this deer to Ayodhya and we will keep the deer in a big udyan, in a big garden where the residents of Ayodhya can see what a beautiful deer it is with beautiful golden horns. And instead of spotted deer, the spots are made of jewels. Imagine a deer like that. So Sitaji was captivated that Ayodhya residents will have a lot of fun. At least we will take some gift for them. 14 years we lived in the forest. When we go back home, we should take some gift, na? So let's take this deer. And Lakshmanji said that I know all the 8.4 million species created by Lord Brahma. This is not one of them. This must be the demon, Marich. Hmm. So anyway, so nothing against cats, but they are meant to live outside the house, not inside the house. Otherwise, we cannot have mode of goodness, sattva gun in the house. We must treat the lower living entities compassionately. So we should give them prasad. That way they will make advancement. Feeling of equality must be there, but treatment should be discriminating. Please highlight this sentence. Srila Prabhupada says, feeling of equality must be there. That, okay, tell me now, this is a question. Prabhupada says, feeling of equality must be there, but the treatment should be discriminating. So discriminating means how we deal with them. We will not sit on a snake like Nimai did. When he was small, a snake came in the backyard and he just. But that was Ananta Shesh who had come to take darshan of his Nimai. Ananta Nitai, who is Ananta Shesh, Nitai, Ananta Nitai had come to see Nimai. Nimai Nitai. But I want you all to explain what is the meaning of. So discrimination, we understand. We discriminate with different species, different people accordingly. A robber comes, we will not deal with him in a way that if Sanatan Nitai Prabhu shows up just now. I just saw Sanatan Nitai Prabhu. If he comes, then he's dear friend, I will embrace him. But if a robber comes, I will deal differently. So this discrimination is there. But my question to all of you is, Prabhupada says a feeling of equality must be there, which means when we see a robber, when we see a friend, dear friend, when we see a snake, when we see a dog, a cat, a tiger, what is the feeling of equality? Can you tell me? What feeling of equality should be there? No matter who we see. We may see a panhandler, means a beggar, or we may see a dear friend. Yes, Shamchandra Prabhu. What is the feeling of equality that Srila Prabhupada is saying here?
Um, so Prabhu, this is like Mame Amsha Jiva Loka Jiva Buddha Sanatana.
Very
So when we
beautiful
see
photo in the
difference,
background, Prabhuji, of Srila Shripad Maharaj.
sorry,
Very
Hari
beautiful
Bol.
photo of Srila Shripad Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Ha.
So when we
Mama
see
Amsha
different, yeah, when we see different species, we should immediately remember that they are all in one sense uh, part and parcel of the Lord. We are also part and parcel of the Lord. So therefore, in that sense, we're all same. But only thing is that consciousness wise, we're all different. So therefore, the dealing will be different with each living entity.
So dealing
But
will be different, but which dealing will be same? Equality.
the fact that they are like our family, because the root is the same. Krishna, they are all coming, part and parcel of Krishna.
Hmm.
Mamyamsha Jiva Loka Jiva Buddha Sanatana.
Hmm.
So they are also eternal like us. They are also in every way they are same.
Hmm.
So the Pandita Samadarshana will automatically come when we see that. We will treat them on that platform. It will be same.
Very good. Correct. Now, practically speaking, how will that translate? Prabhupada says the feeling of equality must be there. So when we deal with different species, what feeling of equality should be there? What is it that everybody needs practically?
Love, love,
Huh? Love.
love,
Yes, yes. Okay. And what else?
compassion.
Yes, Amrit Gaurangi Mataji. Compassion, love, yes. What equal we should give?
I was going to say compassion, Prabhu.
Compassion, how?
I mean, we can't reach to a robber or a snake, but practically, I'm not sure, Prabhu.
Okay. Anybody else? How we can show, no matter who we meet, whether it's a tree or a bird, how can we show that feeling of equality? What is it that everybody needs? Yes, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. All are Krishna's children.
Okay, you are coming very close. All are Krishna's children. Janani Mataji, how can you practically show equality? You are going in the train to Vrindavan Dham and you see trees next to you in the train. How you will show equality to them?
Hare
Compared to
Krishna
someone
Prabhu.
who comes to say, Janani Mataji, you have tea? Chai, 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 station, Bhusals, chai, 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 chai. How you will show equality to the tree outside the compartment and the chai wala in the compartment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is it like this? We should help all the living entities to go back home, back to Godhead, by
Yes,
giving them prasadam. Because
absolutely.
Krishna is, we have a common father and we have to go back home, back to Godhead.
Yes.
So as far as possible, we should help them to go back.
How chai wala you will help? And the people sitting around you in the train to Vrindavan. You cannot tell them, don't leave the train now, come with me to Vrindavan. I'll take you to Krishna Balram Mandir. How you will show equality to them? Feeling of equality should be there. Whether it's a tree outside in the forest or the chaiwala in the train compartment. And the passenger sitting, who you will never meet again. How you will show equality to them? Something everybody needs. Practically. Okay. Kamalu Gopika Mataji?
Prabhu, I used to do means I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for each and everyone.
Haribo! That is the correct answer. Whether we are going for a hike in the forest where there are birds, insects, worms, grass, trees, plants, whether we are traveling in a train, wherever we can just chant Hare Krishna. Yan nama shruti matrana puman bhavati nirmala. Srimad Bhagavatam says that just when and Chaitanya Charitam also says, Antelila, just the holy name entering the ear or the vibrations of holy name hitting a tree, vibrations of holy name hitting an animal, they purify. Yan nama shruti matrana puman bhavati nirmala. So we can practically show equality. So the answer is this. We can practically show equality to all the species of life that we encounter in our day-to-day existence in this world by thinking how we can give them Krishna. To some, it will be prasad. To some, a robber comes through the ring doorbell, we can say, Hare Krishna, who are you? At least we heard Hare Krishna. Or Haridas Thakur. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur was being whipped, but he was benefiting the Jallads, the executioners, by saying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Stop saying Hari Bol. So much we are beating you, saying Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Or 3 times you chanted Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So we can practically show equality to everyone, knowing that everyone needs to hear the holy name. Everyone needs to get Krishna in some form. Someone we can give prasad. A beggar comes, we can give some prasad. You knock on Sanatanita Prabhu's window when he's coming back on Sunday from the temple, he'll give you some prasad for sure. So that way he's showing compassion. That this person gets Krishna in the form of prasad. This person gets Krishna in the form of holy name. You go for a hike, you're going for a nature walk, just chant Hare Krishna loudly once. Hare Krishna. The sound vibrations of Hare Krishna are going and the trees will benefit. Bichare trees have been standing for 30 years, 100 years, 150 years. Maybe they never heard Hare Krishna. And today, they heard Hare Krishna. So in this way, we should always think with equality, no matter who we meet, how I can give Krishna, how I can give Krishna, how I can give Krishna. Shripad Janananda Maharaj, Shripad Janananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's disciple from California, he was into prison preaching. Hari Bol. It's a very great service. His Holiness Srila Chandramauli Swami Maharaj, for many years, was the ISKCON prison ministry head. I am not sure if Srila Chandramauli Swami Maharaj is still doing that very important service or not, but it's a great service to go and preach to the incarcerated people who society has ostracized in one way, that you are not fit to live in society. Go get incarcerated because of whatever sins have been performed. But Krishna consciousness means never without hope. Always there is hope. So devotees go to prisons and they have Bhagavad Gita classes. They have preaching. And they do kirtan. There is a video on YouTube. Ayendra Prabhu prison. You type Ayendra Prabhu prison kirtan. So Ayendra Prabhu going in the prison and doing kirtan for the prisoners. Can you imagine these prisoners are incarcerated, some for murder, some for rape, some for dacoitry, and they're getting to hear Shuddhanam in person. Look at their good fortune. Even we don't have that good fortune. Haribol. So this is the compassion of a Mahabhagavad. So we should think with equality, no matter who we encounter, in some form, in some shape. How can I give Krishna to this person today? How can I give Krishna to this person today? It could be a cab driver. Just before leaving, Hare Krishna. Or sometimes I give prasad to the panhandlers, I also say, Hare Krishna. They think I'm saying hello in some other language, but at least they heard the holy name. Ya nama shruti matrena bhuman bhavati nirmala. They will become purified. It will bear fruit someday. Plus they are getting prasad. So like that. That is how we can show equality to whoever we meet. How? By thinking how I can give Krishna to this person. It could be through Harinam, through Harikatha, through Srila Prabhupada's book that we are handing out. It could be another Sankirtan. It could be Krishna Prasad distribution. It could be showing them Jagannath in Rath Yatra. They are just seeing the form of Jagannath. They are just seeing the Rath. They are making some progress through Agyat Sukriti. Yesterday, I was telling we went for a program of His Holiness Srila Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj from North Carolina. He had come to Atlanta. I did a program here. Very beautiful katha. Very beautiful katha. And he was telling how he came to Krishna consciousness. And he was telling one Agyat Sukriti after the other. Someone giving him Krishna book. A cab driver telling him about devotees. Attending Rath Yatra, taking darshan of Krishna, getting some prasad, hearing kirtan. After a few years, it bore fruits. After accumulating that Agyat Sukriti, it bore fruits. So like that. This is very, very powerful, Agyat Sukriti. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes something very interesting. So please listen carefully. I'm going to read the last paragraph completely. Just listen carefully. Very nice. The first division is made between dead, stone-like matter and the living organism. A living organism is sometimes manifested even in stone. Example, Ahalya. Ahalya was in a stone. And we see that even in the Shastra it is said that the Parvats, they're actually personalities. So Himalaya is a Parvat, like that. Prabhupada says, living organs sometimes manifested even in stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of soul within that stone. Now, this scientists don't know. Scientists recently, Indian scientists only, 125 years ago, discovered that plants have life. Who was that scientist? Name I forgot. Indian scientist. Janani Mataji will know. Yes, Mataji?
Jagadish Chandra Bose.
Ha, Jai Jagadish. See, even the name. Now, so many scientists must have said Jagadish Chandra Bose. They don't know that they have chanted the name of Krishna, who is Jagadish. Hari Bol. Jai Jagadish Hare. This is called Agyat Sukriti. You know? Shyam Chandra Prabhu, Srila Sripad Maharaj gave Agyat Sukriti to so many scientists by talking to them about Krishna, talking to them about science and spirituality. You're saying something?
Absolutely. No. I think by mistake my this hand got pressed, but then since you brought it up, Seven Nobel Laureates is one of the prominent books that he wrote. In that there are like Charles Towns, the laser maser inventor. Then there is Werner Arbor from molecular biologist, famous molecular biologist. There are list of beautiful Nobel laureates who all got Agyat Sukruti by just meeting and then having some dialogue with Srila Sripad Maharaj. And there are many more. So that Seven Nobel Laureates book is very, very useful just to understand how we can convey about spirituality to somebody who is completely oblivious of spirituality, at the same time is ace scientist, and how we can have a nice conversation, meaningful conversation for the higher purpose of human life. So that's very nice.
Hari Bol. You're in Vrindavan?
Sorry, Prabhu, I raised my hand by mistake, I think.
No,
Anyway.
this is Vrindavan home? Or Mumbai?
No, Prabhu, we are in Mumbai since last month, and we'll be here for another few days. Then before Janmashtami, we'll be back in Vrindavan, hopefully.
Hari Bol.
There are a few body-related tests that is going on for both of us, so we have come for that.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is telling in the purport, living entity can manifest even in a stone. No, so plants have life, the scientists came to know through Sri Subhash Chandra Bose. No, through Jagdish Chandra Bose. But life can be there even in a stone. This they have not discovered yet. How Ahalya was living as a stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of soul. Above that, the next manifestation, next advanced level of living condition is development of consciousness. Because these are very jada buddhi in these species, lower species, very dull intelligence. They don't feel anything. But then there is development of consciousness. Therefore, we are vegetarian. We don't want to kill animals who have a developed consciousness for our sake. It is mentioned that when Sadan Kasai was a small boy, he was born in the family of butchers, Kasai. So his father brought some goats to be slaughtered. And one of the goats was very baby goat, small goat, very cute. And Sadan Kasai got attached to that goat. And the baby goat saw that the mother goat, father goat, one by one, they were slaughtered. And just by seeing that, the baby goat understood that I am also going to be slaughtered eventually. And Sadan Kasai, as a child, embracing that baby goat and crying and giving a lot of love, because now the baby goat is going to be slaughtered. And the baby goat was crying because the baby goat understood that I am going to be slaughtered. So even animals can perceive that something bad is going to happen to them. It's not just human beings, even animals can perceive because they have developed consciousness and we don't want to give them pain. Therefore, we are vegetarian. Next is development of, and the next manifestation is development of sense perception. So consciousness is one, they are conscious, but they may not have very acutely developed senses. And the next is the sense perception is very acute, where they can feel a lot of pain. In the Moksha Dharma section of Mahabharata, it is stated that trees have developed sense perception. They can see and smell. Now, I don't know this, but firsthand, but I have read somewhere that an experiment was done that two types of plants were grown. One set of plants were spoken bad words, abused, yelled at, screamed at, and other set of plants were spoken sweet words and spiritual music was played for them. And the plants that were exposed to praise and spiritual music, they had better growth and health. Scientifically, this was conducted in proven in an experiment. So this proves that even plants have feelings, even trees have feelings. And we know Nalaku were Manigriv. They were in the tree body, but they were aware. They were able to perceive the Damodar Leela. We know by experience that trees can see. Sometimes in its growth, a large tree changes its course of development to avoid some hindrances. We can see this in the house. In the winter, you put Tulsi Maharani near the window, and the Tulsi Maharani starts turning towards the window because sunlight is coming from that direction. So we have all experienced, hai na? The plant grows towards the sunlight. So how it is coming to know which direction to go. This means that a tree can see in their own way. How does a snake see? Snake's eyes cannot see, but the snake sees with the tongue. By feeling the tongue of the snake is so acutely sensitive that if a rat is in front of the snake, the way the rat moves, the bodily heat that it is emitting, the snake can judge with its tongue. Therefore, the snake keeps throwing the tongue out. Because with the tongue, it is sensing where the prey is moving based on the heat vibrations that are coming from the body, and based on that, the snake slithers towards the prey and grabs it. So snake can see through the tongue. It can sense the vibrations of the prey through the tongue. So like that. In their own way, the trees can see. It may not be like us. Trees may not have eyes. Trees may not need a cataract surgery. But trees may see in their own way. Like a snake can do the job of the eyes with the tongue. This indicates development of sense perception. So as the sense perception is advanced, it goes to the next level of development. 29. Tatrapi sparsha vedibhyah pravararasa vedinaha tebhyo gandha vidah shreshthas tata shabda vidovara. Among the living entities who have developed sense perception, those who have developed sense of taste are better than those who have developed only the sense of touch. A tree can feel touch, but the tree may not be able to taste so much. So the tree will say, give me sweet water or give me salty water. Doesn't matter. The tree will just take water. But the tree can feel touch. Therefore, in our Vedic culture, they tell us that don't touch the trees at night. Have parents told you in the childhood that you play, but once it is dark, don't disturb the trees. The trees are also sleeping now. It's not that we take out Tulsi Maharani at 11 o'clock at night and say, now we are going to do Tulsi Aarti at 11 o'clock at. No. Tulsi Maharani also takes rest when the Thakurji takes rest. Like that. So, trees they can feel touch. When you cut them, the trees feel pain. Therefore, we should not, it is aparadh to cut the trees because they also feel pain. So trees can feel sense of touch, but trees may not be able to have their taste buds. Better than them are those who have developed sense of smell. That's even more advanced. And better than those who have developed sense of hearing. Trees cannot really necessarily hear exactly like us. But then there are some animals who have very, very acute sense of hearing, like dogs. Little noises there, they will wake up. They'll know exactly somebody has entered the house. Like that. Or their sense of smell, dogs. They are called sniffer dogs. In the airport, you have seen, they can detect any contrabands in the luggage. We don't have that sense of smell. Even in forensic medicine, we study, there are sniffer dogs. They can just identify where the person is, the perpetrator or the victim, just by scent. You bring them to the person's room, they will catch the scent, take them to the crime scene, and they will lead you where the person is. By the smell of the individual. Such a highly developed sense of smell a dog has. Even human beings don't have. Prabhupada says, although Westerners accept that Darwin first expounded a doctrine of evolution, the science of anthropology is not new. This evolution of consciousness, different grades of consciousness, is not new. The development of evolutionary process was known long before from Srimad Bhagavatam, which was written 5,000 years ago at least. There are records of the statements of Kapila Muni, who was present almost in the beginning of the creation. Because we see now how Kapil Dev, was so many, Satyug, so many years ago. This knowledge has existed since Vedic time, and all these sequences are disclosed in Vedic literature. The theory of gradual evolution or anthropology is not new to the Vedas. It has been there in the Vedas. And actually, it is a fact that many of these people, Westerners, they came to India and they read the Vedic literature, which was newly translated from Sanskrit into English. And many of the ideas they have, the inspiration came from Vedic literature. All the Superman flying like this, the inspiration is coming from Hanumanji. It's a fact. So many authors like Jungle Book, Rudyard Kipling, he wrote so many things. Even the names, if you see, they are very Indian names. So many of these Western thinkers, philosophers, scientists, they get their ideas from the ancient Vedas because it's a fact that religion, among religious books, the Vedic literature is the oldest. It is older than the Bible, older than the Quran, older than the Torah. There's no doubt about it. Oldest literature is the Vedic literature. So many of the ideas they get from there. Now see, Prabhupada says, it is said here that amongst the trees, there are also evolutionary processes. The different kinds of trees have touch perception. It is said that better than trees are the fish because fish have developed sense of taste. Better than fish, taste, how you know? You put a worm on the hook in the water and the fish will come to eat. Sense of taste is there. Better than fish are the bees because they have sense of smell. They go to the flower. And better than the honeybees are the serpents because serpents have developed the sense of hearing. In the darkness, and again the hearing, they do most of it from their tongue. It can sense vibrations. In the darkness of night, a snake can find its eatable simply by hearing the frog's very pleasant cry. Snake, and this is a frog, there is a frog, and he captures the frog simply by the sound vibration. This example is sometimes given for persons who vibrate sound simply for death. First Canto, remember we said, people who talk prajalpa, people who talk non-devotional things are like frogs, quack, quack, they are doing, simply attracting the snake of death. Instead, we should use our sense of speech for Krishna. Ridvak vapur bhirvidadhan namaste. We should use the best use of tongue. Best use of tongue is sound vibration, to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That will protect one from the hands of cruel death. 30. Rupa bheda vidastatra tatascho bhayato datah tesham bahupada shreshthas chatush padas tatodvipat. Better than those living entities who can perceive sound are those who can distinguish between one form and another. Now, better, still more advanced than hearing are those that can perceive sound and also distinguish between one form and another with their eyes. Better than them are those who have developed upper and lower sets of teeth. And better still are those who have many legs. Better than them are the quadrupeds, and better still are the dvipada, the human beings who have 2 feet. It is said that certain birds, such as crows, can distinguish one form from another. Living entities have many legs, like wasp. They may have 6 legs. Are better, or honeybees, 6 legs, are better than plants and grasses, which have no legs. Apadani chatushpadam. 4-legged animals are better than many-legged animals. And better than the 4-legged animals are human beings who has only 2 legs. So now, my dear friends, so many different millions of species. Human being species is the best species, which all of us have so kindly received. So we should be very grateful that we are in the human species of life. 31. Tato varnascha chatvaras tesham brahmana uttamaha brahmanesh api vedadyo arthadnyo bhyadikastatah. Among human beings, society which is divided according to quality and work is best. Chaturvarna maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. Human society divided according to quality and work is best, guna karma. And in that society, the intelligent men who are designated as brahmanas are best. Tesham brahmana uttama. This is a fact that brahmanas are the best. There's no doubt about it. Because brahma janati iti brahman. They are in the mode of goodness and they are devoted to understanding transcendence. From the mode of goodness, we can understand spirituality. Rajogun, Tamogun, very difficult. Among Brahmanas, one who has studied the Vedas is the best. Brahmaneshapi Vedadnyo. One who has studied the Vedas is the best. And among the Brahmanas who have studied the Vedas, one who knows the actual purport of Veda is the best. Arthadnyo. That is Abhyadhika, even better, Tata. So best is one who is a Brahman. Better among the Brahmans, best is one who has studied the Vedas. And best among them is one who knows the actual purport, actual meaning of the Vedas. And what is the purpose of Vedas? Vedasya sarvam ahameva vedyo. One who knows Krishna. So that person is the best. A devotee is the best. Srila Prabhupada explains that. In the end, Prabhupada says, the purpose of Veda, towards the end of the purport, the purpose of Veda is to understand the absolute. One who understands the absolute truth in three phases, namely Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagvaneti shabdyate. We read in the first canto, very beginning of the first canto, that the supreme absolute truth eternally exists in three aspects: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. And who understands the term Bhagwan to mean Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Krishna to Bhagwan Swayam, is considered the best among the Brahmanas, or in other words, that person is called Vaishnava. Hari Bol. Last verse for today, 32. Arthadnyat samsaya chetta tata shreyan swakarmakrit mukta sanga tato bhuyan adogda dharmamatmanaha. Please highlight this verse because it has the name of our Mukta Sangha Prabhu. It is said that every word of Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. So here is Mukta Sangha Prabhu. Kapil Dev Muni Maharaj, Bhagwan is saying, better than Brahman, who knows the purpose of the Vedas, is he who can dissipate all doubts. And better than him is one who strictly follows the Brahminical principles, whose acharan is good. Arthadnyat samsaya chetta. Preacher is better. Among the Vaishnavas, the preacher is the better because he can destroy the doubts of others. Haribol, nashta moha smritir labdha. He can explain the science of Krishna. And among the preachers, the better one is one who is actually following also. Not just prachar, but as achar also. Following the Brahminical principles. Better than him is one who is already liberated from all material contamination. And better than the person who has achar prachar is one who has actually realized it and has become completely liberated. Jivan Mukta. That person is Mukta Sangha. By doing his Sangha, we also become Mukta. That person is better. And better than him is a pure devotee who executes devotional service without expectation of any reward. Without execution of any reward. That is even bhuyan, even better. And that is a Uttam Adhikari. Completely ahaituki. Doesn't even want liberation, doesn't want anything. Just Swarga Pavarka Narkeshu Abhitulyartar, Narayana Parasave, Nakutashavi, that kind of person. Purport. Arthadnya Brahman refers to one who has made a thorough analytical study of absolute, who knows absolute truth and has realized it in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. If someone not only has knowledge but is able to clear all doubts of others about absolute truth, is considered better. Further, maybe a learned Brahman Vaishnava who can explain clearly and eradicate all doubts. But if he does not follow the Vaishnava principles, he is not so much high level. Haribol. He may be preaching, but he may not have good acharan. He may say, Tranadavi Suni Chena, but may be very proud himself in the dealings. So that is also not considered very ideal. So like that. In the last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says that, so Acharya is one who teaches disciples by example. The highest perfectional Brahman is the Vaishnava. A Vaishnava who knows the science of absolute truth but is not able to preach such knowledge to others is described as being lower stage. One who not only understands but also preaches is the second stage. And one who not only can understand and preach but also sees everything in absolute truth, has already realized everything, is the highest class of Vaishnavas. It is mentioned here that a Vaishnava is already a Brahman. In fact, the highest stage of Brahminical perfection is reached when one comes to the point of becoming a Vaishnava. Like that. A Bhakta is the highest Because Brahma janati iti Brahman, but Bhakta is one who is Tesham Satayuktara Bhajata Priti Purvakam. A Brahman knows Krishna, but a Vaishnava loves Krishna Priti Purvakam. So that is the difference. So Vaishnava is the highest evolution for Brahman. So we'll stop here and we will, I think, definitely finish the chapter on Thursday in India, Friday morning. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, so no questions. So we'll stop here and we'll see you day after tomorrow. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very
Srila
much.
Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Guruji. Thank you so much.